Hello and welcome to the Indila Podcast. I'm Joey. I'm a big dreamer from England and I have been a fan of Indila for 9 years. And today, my friends and I are going to talk about Indila's career, starting with her songs before the album Mini World.
Hi, it's Utku. I'm listening her since my 14 years old, and I'm studying French language literature. I'm from Turkey.
Hi, it's Rain, and I have been a dreamer for, I think, 10 or 11 years. It's been a long time. I'm originally from Turkey, and yeah.
Hi, I'm Nour Khaled and I'm from Egypt. I have been a dreamer since 2019. So this year we have got to know each other more and more and we are friends on this journey.
Yeah, as Nour says, we have all been friends for many years. We met through Indila's music. As Indila says, la musique nous rassemble. And we have many other friends in the Dreamers fan club because we're all a wonderful family together. And we decided to make this podcast for fans of Indila mostly who love her music and who maybe want to know a little bit more about her career and the trajectory that her career has taken. So, as I said, we're going to start with her very early songs. Indila's first song, which we know of, was with a collaboration with a French singer called Vita. It was called Invitation. And then in the years 2010, 2011, she had many songs with other artists, mostly from the French urban scene, such as À l'ancienne, Plus jamais, Trinité, Prespose. But I guess her big breakthrough came with the song Criminel with the French group TLF in 2010, and they made a music video for it. And that is where Indila first sort of reveals her signature, where she is influenced by many cultures, and particularly the Indian culture. Utku, do you remember when you first heard Criminel the first time, and what was your impressions about that song?
When I heard this song for the first time, I knew that Indila is making some songs about her culture, like where she came from. Uh, if I remember it right, her mother is from India. So it wasn't weird to me, but it was weird to hear her in a rap song because it was quite far away from her style, uh, the style that we know her with. So it was interesting. I wasn't expecting, but it was a good song, yes.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember Utku having a profile picture from that like song. It was,
Yes.
you know, do you remember that?
Yes, I remember. It's still
I
my
think-
profile pictures.
I think it was when she was dancing.
I don't remember that. Is it where she's wearing the sari?
Yes.
And like,
She was making that move, yeah.
and also she sings in Hindi in this song. I guess that's the first time we really heard her singing was not in French and not in English, but in Hindi.
Yes, and her voice is different, like adapted to Indian songs. Like she can use her voice in a different types.
I think we see that Indila is always interested about many cultures.
Absolutely. As she says, she is an enfant du monde. And music, according to her, has no barriers. So she has all of the nationalities of the world in her heart.
Yeah.
And then a few months after Criminel, she made the song Ter Mariage, actually with the brother of the main rapper of Criminel. And this rapper was called Roth. And again, we see her in the music video, which was spectacular. We see her wearing a sari again, and it's filmed out in the desert in Arabia, the Arabian desert or United Arab Emirates, I think. And Noor, there are some, you are from Egypt, of course, and there are some Arab
Yeah,
influences in this song. What do you think
yeah.
about that?
Indira is interested in Arab songs. Like she has mentioned this all the time. She has mentioned before that she's listening to Warda. Anyone knows about Warda. She's a very famous Algerian singer, I think. And I was very happy when I knew that she's listening to her, and Warda is one of her favorites. It's my first time learning that.
Fantastic. Then, about a year after these songs, Indila was at this point mostly known for collaborations with rappers in the French music scene and mostly inside France as well. But in early 2012, she collaborated with the rapper Youssoupha, and they traveled all the way to the United States, to Arizona to make the music video in the Grand Canyon. And this was for the song Dreamin', where she sings in English. Rain, do you remember when you first heard Dreamin'?
The thing is, I don't quite remember it, but I remember being like shocked because I was not expecting that kind of accent or English from her. I was more expecting something, you know, how French people have this distinctible accent. She didn't have that at all.
Mhm.
This is not like uh, an insult or anything, but I was like amazed how she did that. And I wasn't expecting that kind of setting. Well, you know, it's like that art style, like the way she like moved or sang was so different from what she does today. So it was like a cultural shock, I guess, to me. But I really liked it.
Yeah, I think it was similar for me. Of course, all of us, we discovered her music mostly through Mini World and Dernière Danse and Tourner dans le vide. So we're kind of going back and finding the raps, and we think, wow, this is, yeah, a really different style to what we're used to.
A different person.
Yeah. But still you can hear her voice has always been so beautiful and it hasn't changed. Yeah. And also Dreamin', I think, was her biggest hit at that stage because she did her first live shows or her first big live shows on tour with Youssoupha in France. She also did some live performances on the French radio. At this point, it was known that she was collaborating on her first album, but she was very, very secretive about it, and little more was known. And it took another 2 years before her first album was released. So we mentioned that Dreamin' was filmed in Arizona. It was never sort of officially announced where the filming took place. I guess they didn't expect it to be as popular as it was, the music video.
It's Arizona in US?
Yeah, Arizona in the US.
Damn.
Mhm.
Wow.
Yeah, it was filmed in Arizona in the United States and near the Grand Canyon and all this beautiful scenery. And a few years ago, I tried to find the exact locations because
It's
you
my
can,
first time to know about this.
you can see them filming. You can see signs for Route 66, the famous road that goes to America, and a few signs on the names of towns in the background. And I used that to search, and I found that it was filmed in a place called Kingman, Arizona. And there's a little scene where there are all these letterboxes beside the road, and that is filmed in a place called a tiny little village called Antares, just to the north of Kingman. And there's also some very interesting, there's a place called Calico, I think, where there's a sort of green house made of bottles. And yeah, it was amazing scenery. And Ter Mariage was filmed in the shopping center of Dubai, I believe. We can also talk about the song Iro. You remember that with soprano, where she sings like
Yes.
"Olele, hola,
Delicious.
hola." Yeah, that's not going
Thank you,
in.
Joy, for reminding.
Uh, so in this song, she sings in her own language, which is known as yogurt language. It's what uh, it's what French singers do when they want to sound like they're singing in English, but they're not actually singing any words. So she's singing like "We are one."
Okay.
Yeah, and as an English speaker, I always hear that as like she's saying "my heart," or "we all are." But it's it shows that the main thing that mattered to Indira at the time was the melodies and the emotions that are conveyed through music rather than the exact meaning of the lyrics.
Do you guys remember Bye Bye Sunny?
Yeah.
Yes, this is also my favorite, but it was such a weird song. Like, why Indila wanted to participate to this collab, I have no idea. But it's a good song.
It was so off character. Like, I don't think she wrote the lyrics herself.
Yeah, I agree. I'm at a big, big party. DJ Abdel, can you feel me? Yeah.
I think she wanted to try everything, every style, to see what she preferred.
Yeah, I think so. I think she was thinking at the time, like, well, firstly, Skalpovic, her producer, he was working in that kind of urban scene. I think Indira wanted to express her own album, Mini World, but she needed to kind of climb the ladder to kind of build not a reputation, but a kind of, she needed to gain experience singing and collaborating. And yeah, she wanted to try everything and she wanted to get involved with things. Another song actually from this era, which is very different to the ones we've been talking about, is the song Yemma with Kena Samet, which again has many Arabian vibes. And I think this is one of my favorite songs, and it talks about a mother who is dead or is gone, and about missing a mother. And
I
Indila's,
really like this song.
yeah, it's so beautiful. The emotion. Well, thank you very much for listening to the very first episode of the Indila podcast. Next time, we are going to be talking all about Indila's very first solo song, Dernière Danse. And I think that name rings a very strong bell with every dreamer because this is her most famous song, which now has more than 1.2 billion views on YouTube. But we're going to start off with where it all began in Paris.
Yes, we don't have much to talk before Dernière Danse, but when we come to this song, yes, we have lots of things to say, I
Yeah.
think.
Every dreamer has a story with this song, so I think this episode will be so fun and we will have so much fun.
Yeah, I think this one is definitely like the shorter episode and maybe the scariest because we don't know what we're doing. But by next week it'll be good. Please do remember to like and subscribe to our podcast wherever you get your podcasts. I know that every podcast ends with a request like this, and we normally just completely ignore it. But it's especially important that you like and subscribe and leave a comment for us because we're just a little show and we're not making any money from this. What really matters to us is feedback and opinions from other dreamers. So please let us know what you think. And we will see you in the next episode.